Hey guys, it's Chris Austin with the Austin Home Team. I'm here with Jason Knobbe with PrimeLending, and we've asked Jason to come and talk to us just a little bit about what he saw last year in the market, what he kind of sees for 2021, and just the market's been crazy. It was crazy last year.
It was a roller coaster. No one anticipated what happened February and March, but when we started seeing rates fall, the refinance activity picked up tremendously. And then when the shutdowns went in place, a lot of clientele were taking advantage of refinance rates because they dropped so drastically. My original view was I didn't think there was going to be any real estate sold. I didn't think anyone would be walking through houses looking for real estate. But within a couple months, it ramped back up. You guys were doing a lot of business, showing a lot of homes and selling a lot of real estate. And I think there was a lot of pent-up demand, and a lot of people were looking at their four walls and wanting new walls. So it was an outstanding year for the real estate business and the mortgage business.
Yeah, it was crazy. We had just come off of 2019, and it was the best year we'd ever had, and we were ramping up. We had all these goals for 2020 of stuff we wanted to do and how many homes we were going to sell, and then the pandemic hit, and bam, all of a sudden we're starting to rethink everything. We had client events and all the stuff that we normally do, and
right.
So we had no idea what to think, what was going to happen, and yeah, we saw the same thing. It was like people were now stuck in their homes and starting to figure out what they didn't like about their home, or they now were working from home, and so they can't do that in a one-bedroom place with dogs and kids running around while they're trying to talk to clients. And so pandemic hit, we had a little lull, and then all of a sudden the floodgates opened, and people started going looking for homes.
Exactly. And initially, well, a couple months, I would call it April, May last year, my mortgage industry was seeing a lot of change, a lot of pulling back, a lot of concern, the ability to repay. Credit score requirements were changing. They were increasing because there was a lot of unknown. There were a lot of extremes. The jumbo market pulled back initially because they didn't know if this consumer, this buyer, this borrower was going to be able to repay a mortgage.
When you say jumbo market, you're talking people that are paying $450,000 and above.
Yeah, so over $550, $600 purchase price and above. That environment or that loan was an issue for 3 to 4 months last year. Now it's normalized and we're back in business. That part of our industry is very comfortable again, and that jumbo market is moving forward.
One of the best things I've ever heard is when you want to know what the weather's going to be outside, you don't go to the national weather news to see what the weather is nationally. You look at your local weather to see what your weather's going to be outside, and that's what we try to coach our people is, if you're going to watch the news and try to figure out what the market or what the economy is going to do here in Kansas City, don't go look at Santa Monica and see that they're 70 and sunny or whatever.
Right.
You look and see what we are. And what we have seen is that 2020 brought an incredible economy for Kansas City, and that the job market is pretty strong here.
It is.
And the buying power people have right now, people are out there looking for houses. But we're dealing with low inventory. So low inventory for us means there's not that many great houses out there. I think when we look at the months of inventory, they say that having 4 months worth of inventory, 4 months worth of houses out there is a balanced market. Not a seller's market, not a buyer's market, is balanced. But once you get under 4, it becomes a seller's market. Once you get over 4, it becomes a buyer's market.
Got it.
I believe last year, the average was right around 2 months of inventory of real estate. So meaning that a house came on the market and it was gone within
days.
Within days, yeah, it was very quickly. And we saw that a lot last year with multiple offers. And I always tell my buyers that I made an offer on a home the other day that had 18 offers on it. And that means that one person won, and 17 of those people now are going to the next house that meets their needs. But at the same time, more people are coming into the market looking for that same thing. So how long would it take for 17 people to find their home in that competitive market? And it takes time. So
it takes longer, right?
Yeah.
But people just shouldn't be discouraged. There are opportunities out there. We both saw plenty of people buying and closing last year.
Yeah.
It can be frustrating.
Yeah, we sold 183 homes last year. That's
Amazing.
183 wins. 183 people that are now in a different place than they were before. Even in the competitive market, there's tricks and stuff like that we've been able to learn over just being in a competitive market for some time. How long do you think this has gone on? It's been
years,
Yeah.
at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I don't see a major shift or change this year, do you?
I don't think so. I mean, I think again when we talk about how many people are in the market right now looking for homes and are still dealing with multiple offers, and how long is it going to take those people to find those homes, that buyer pool to dissipate? It could take another couple of years. And what we've heard is the Fed said they're not going to drop interest rates. You can tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, generally speaking, I mean, rates have been low for a long duration of time, but over the last 12 months, they have dropped again to historic lows. Now, I've personally never seen rates, 30-year rates, 20-year rates, 15-year rates in the twos. That has created a great opportunity for our buyers. The affordability is there. The buyer, they can buy a lot of home right now. And generally speaking, the Fed is out there saying that rates are going to continue to be low for longer, for the next 2 to 3 years. So it's good times for the builders, it's good times for the real estate market and the finance market, and people are taking advantage of these low rates.
Yeah.
And like you said, the flip side is it can be challenging with finding the right one, but people are doing it.
Yeah, with low interest rates, that should keep the buyer pool full. People are trying to take advantage of these rates because what they know is that if these rates raise, at a 2 or 3% interest rate, you can afford a certain price of a house. When those interest rates, my very first house I bought was almost 7%.
Wow.
At a 7% interest rate.
And that was good.
That was good. At that time, that was good. And if you talk to these people that have been in our business for 20 years, they're like, man, I remember when interest rates were 25 and we liked it and we walked uphill.
That's more like 40 years. We're getting into that age too now, Chris.
Man.
We've been in the business for a while.
For a little bit. How long have you been doing this?
I think 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
I'm in my
How about you?
16th year right now.
Yeah. We've been working together for over a decade now.
Yeah.
Good.
And when we started, we were thinner
Yes.
and better looking.
Much better looking.
I had more hair. You still have plenty of hair. Mine's turning gray. I like to say
Your personality just always shines.
well, that's mostly my wife, which
That's a good thing.
that's a good thing. And
What else are you seeing out there in the real estate business? What are your predictions, which is hard to do, but what do you see? Where are we going this year?
Again, with such low interest rates, we're already seeing, what is it? Is it now? It's January 23rd, and we're already seeing people buy houses. I mean, our business has loaded up. So if that's any indication, the first quarter is already so full. That's gonna, that's what this is supposed to be slow right now.
Right.
With the amount of people looking for homes, with the amount of people calling us now, getting ready to list their homes, starting to ask questions. Well, hey, I've been thinking about this for a while, watching the market. My neighbor's house sold in 2 seconds. What would it take to sell mine? What do you think it would sell for? So I think this year we're going to see an even busier and better market than we did in 2020 without the pandemic. People that have been in their home now for a year, not being able to go out and do a lot of things, are now going to go out and look for a home office. They're going to look for where wide open spaces, open concept was a really popular thing. We're starting to hear more people talk about just a little bit sectioned off. So my husband can work over here, I can work over here, our kids can play over here. And so we're going to see a bigger market than last year. I think that what people are looking for may start to shift a little bit as this new world comes on. But
It's bringing a lot of intentions forward. People are acting. They want a functioning home for their new lifestyle, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's a new lifestyle. I mean, the world has changed.
And real estate is that much more important because we're spending so much more time there. In our businesses, working from home, and with our families.
And the encouraging thing is real estate really is a driver of an economy. So if the real estate market is doing good, overall the economy is most likely going to do good.
Right.
So the real estate market being strong again in 2021 is going to do nothing but drive the economy forward. So it's nothing but encouraging for our city, for our nation, and it's going to be good.
I agree.
Well, we had some people ask questions online for us, and thought we'd go ahead and ask a few of those. Jason has some for me, I have some for him, and we'll just try to answer those the best we can. Some really good questions, actually, and something we had to really think about.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Why should I buy now? I heard it's a seller's market.
Yeah, that's one of the most common things that we get asked actually right now. Because sellers want to sell their home right now because they've heard that they're going to make $20,000 over asking, it's going to sell in 2 seconds. But there is some fear with the buyers that they're going to have to pay that much more over, and that they'll be upside down, or they won't be able to afford the house. So I will tell you that what we said before, with interest rates so low, what somebody can afford right now, they may not be able to afford if interest rates raise. And we have people out there that try to play the market, that try to time it. Yeah, sure. and trying to time the market is one of the most dangerous things you can do as far as an investment is concerned, because if interest rates are at 2% and you can now afford a $250,000 house, if those go up even 1%, that can change the affordability, your buying power on a house. So if you wait and you have to now buy less of a house because the interest rates are higher, the difference of doing that and buying a house now where you're competing and you have to pay a little bit over asking to get the home, but you have these low interest rates, the only thing it really changes is how long you may need to stay in the home. Mm-hmm. So housing is just like it's like the stock market. If you buy a really good stock, you have to watch that stock go up and down. And if you try to sell that stock when it's down, you're probably going to lose money or break even.
Take a little loss, yeah.
And so you hold that stock until it makes sense for you to buy. And so we're trying to coach our people now. Yeah, it's competitive. You're going to have to. Homes are more expensive now than they were. The interest rates are so low that if you buy this home and you can stay there for, 5 years instead of 2, or 8 years instead of 3, that you're going to realize that investment in the long run.
Longer term.
So we're seeing people now that are actually thinking about buying a home and maybe keeping it as a rental in the future, or buying it and watching what the market does. If the market continues to do what it's done for the next 3 years, people that buy right now, even though they're paying for that home, it's going to increase in value significantly. It's not like a 3% increase in value now. It's like
more,
6%
and
every year.
A lot of the financial experts and economists are saying that's where we're heading over the next 2 to 3, 4 years.
Yeah. So really, there's no better time than right now to buy, because you're buying right now. The market's hot, but it's going to continue to be hot, we believe.
Right.
And your investment's going to increase 6% or more a year potentially. You can be sitting on equity within 2 years.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.